What's going on, guys? So decided to try to keep things short for y'all. I know y'all got that really big video on there teaching y'all how to make a nice healthy dinner and all that stuff. Now it's time for the dessert. The cool thing about this dessert, it's called a Napoleon. It's a simple dessert. I've already got this pre-made here. I got some blueberries, some raspberries, some blackberries, some yummy tasty goodness in there. Throw all your fresh berries in there, sprinkle enough sugar on it to cover it, and then mix it up really good. Don't over mix it though, because that sugar, as it starts to break down, because it does break down the fruit a little bit, softens it a little bit, cooking it, if you would say. As it starts to do that, it starts to kind of like, this is how you start a jam, essentially. Like if you're going to make a jam, this is your start. So you don't want to over mix it, because then everything becomes way too tacky and sticky. And then as you're eating it, bleh. So this is, I'm not kidding when I say this is a simple dessert, okay? Puff pastry, heavy whipping cream, a little bit of sugar, some fruit. That's your ingredient list, man. That's it. Like, I can make puff pastry from scratch, but it is a time-consuming thing. Puff pastry is what's called a laminated dough. It is considered a laminated dough purely because you start with your flour, your butter, your eggs, yada yada yada. You mix it up, okay? Fold it with you cut butter into it. Basically, you cut little cubes of butter, put it in there, fold it over, roll it out, freeze it for 30 minutes. Pull it out, do the same process over again so you get a laminated dough. Or you can just go to the store and buy it. For the purposes of this video, I went to the store and bought it. A little bit later on down the road, I will actually make a puff pastry from start to finish to show you how to do it. But like I said, that is a time-consuming process. It takes about 3 to 4 hours to do properly, because of all of your cooling time. You know, as your dough starts to get a little too warm, you have to stick it back in the fridge or the freezer, and you have to cool it off. If it gets too warm, it gets too sticky and way too pliable, and you don't want that. Plus, not to mention, it makes a massive freaking mess, because you have to use a lot of flour to keep it from sticking to your bench. What we're going to do is we're going to cut this. I'm just going to do some simple squares. Just a good, long, straight, sharp knife, and cut it. I don't have a billion people here to feed this to, so I'm not going to make too much of this. But you see how it's getting real sticky there? That's because it sat out just a little bit, but I mean, it's alright, because this is getting cut and thrown right into the oven to bake. You're going to bake it at 350 degrees until it's puffed up and golden brown and delicious. For those folks of you at home, regular old range oven will work, but because I'm a chef, I've got this nifty little thing here. This does air frying, this does baking, this does broiling. I mean, you can literally broil an entire, you can rotisserie a chicken in here without rotisserie it. Whew, I'm short of breath today. Gonna get me a good little sheet pan here, spray it. Apparently this thing is screaming at me. Olive oil works just fine. You can use that. If you want to go the old school traditional route of doing it, butter. Lots of butter. Lots of butter. I mean, loads of it. I'm not going to do too much of this, or I might end up doing the whole thing. Keep in mind, this is puff pastry. When you bake it, it does puff. So you want to leave room for your puff pastry to do its puffing. Sound like the movie phone guy. If you've ordered puff pastry, press 1 now. Dude. I already made a mess. Jeez.
Yeah, you have.
I'm so messy. Like I said, just throw it on that. Take it. Toss it in. Bake it off. Not kidding when I said this stuff is simple. That should take about 5 or 10 minutes. It shouldn't take too long. I can't quite remember the time right now, so we're just going to keep an eye on it because too lazy to look at the package. All right, heavy cream, towel. Most of you out there are probably going, what the hell is the towel for? Take it, roll it up like you're going to snap your buddy on the leg, the one who's holding the camera.
He almost smacked me in the balls.
You probably deserve it. Take that towel, roll it up real good, and set your bowl on that. Because when you do that, I can do this all day long. That bowl's not going anywhere. This is a really good trick to have, especially when you're doing like a mother sauce like hollandaise or mayonnaise by yourself. Trust me, that's a lifesaver, because with that you have to pour the oil and whisk all at the same time with nobody holding the bowl. That ain't gonna do you no favors. So just throw it on a towel. Little trick of the trade there. Heavy cream in. It's gonna make a lot of whipped cream. You're going to want to do, we're actually going to measure this, otherwise it'll be too sweet. A third of a cup of sugar. A third of a cup. Level scoop. Toss that in, little by little. Okay. And then just start whisking the shit out of it. Now, if you have a stand mixer at home, I highly suggest using that. But I'm not doing that because you need to see that this can be achieved without a stand mixer. Not everybody has one. Not all of us can afford one. The only reason why I have one is because my mother has one and I borrow it from her. And I'm like, I'm going to take your stand mixer. And she goes, okay. Time-consuming process. Your arm is going to get tired. The best thing I can tell you is whip your wrist back and forth while moving your whole arm unit back and forth. The whole point behind doing this is to incorporate air. When you incorporate air, that's how you whip. If you don't get air in there, you're not whipping. Switch back and forth when you need. Another cool thing too, while I have you here, really cool thing about heavy whipped cream. Let's say you're at home, you have heavy whipping cream, but you need butter, you don't have it, and you need buttermilk, you don't have it. Well, guess what? Yes, you do. Right there in that bottle. You empty out some of the contents of that bottle and just start shaking the ever-living crap out of it. Okay? Just shake, shake, shake. What happens is it'll turn into whipped cream. And you're probably thinking, well, Phoenix, if it turns into whipped cream, then where the hell do I go from there? Well, guess what? Keep going. It'll start clumping up. As it clumps up, at that point, you've got butter and buttermilk. Whip it, let it clump, let it get a good clump to it. All right? And then once you have that good clump to it, pull that clump out, press it. That's your butter. You press as much of that liquid out as you can. All right? You're still going to have liquid left behind in whatever you were shaking it in, but you just press that out. And then from there, once you start getting all that liquid out, guess what that liquid is? That's buttermilk.
Buttermilk!
Y'all can see this is a pain in the ass. I hate doing it this way, but I do what it takes for y'all. Alright, had to cut away a little bit because this shit takes a long time to do, but as you can see, you want a nice kind of medium stiff peak. Alright, your peaks are determined by, if you look right here, that little thing there, see how it doesn't really fold over and it just kind of stands up straight on its own? That's a peak. Alright, soft peaks.
That stuff is good, boy. God.
Soft peaks will straight up just fall over, maybe curl a little bit. A medium peak will kind of get a little bit of a drop to it. And a stiff peak will just stand straight up like a mountain.
A stiff peak.
Stiff peak will stand up straight like a mountain.
Get it? A stiff peak.
I was trying to keep away from that. So, as you can see,
they're starting to.
puff pastry is doing what it does. It's puffing up. It's starting to brown a little bit.
Hold on, folks. We're gonna get you. We're gonna get you to.
I need that anyway.
There we go.
So see how it's got that nice brown color on it? That's what you want right there.
It's
so
like, it's like light skin, but yeah.
That's done.
That's light skin. Yeah.
It's a light skin system.
Yeah. I mean, listen.
Done with your shit.
Yeah, I'm digging it. Hey, I watch enough MasterChef. I know what a puff pastry should look like.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull that out, set that on the stove.
You just dizzied me. You went that way and I went that way and then you went this way. You dizzied the shit out of me.
So the thing is even though in the oven it didn't look like it was browning too much, when you pull it out, as you can see, as the air starts to hit and it starts to cool off, it really browns up. You got to be real careful because store-bought, actually puff pastry, period, really easy to go right over that edge and be like, oh crap. So yeah, you got to be careful. It essentially just makes this nifty little kind of donut thing here. All right, now I'm gonna come over here. Ever the chef, got the white plates. Get a couple of white bowls. Too bad I don't have like the broad rim bowls. I love.
If y'all don't have bowls, it's okay. I mean, everybody got bowls, but if you don't have these fancy chef bowls, it's okay.
Yeah.
Don't
worry about it. The only reason why we have it is because this used to be the fine china.
Listen, I've got wide mouth bowls like that, not chef bowls. But.
So it really doesn't matter the colors. So for me, personally, when it comes to presentation, unlike most chefs, I hate white. I can't stand white. I think white is the dumbest thing to present on. I prefer like a black stone because it's all black, of course, but you get little speckles of gray in there. The moment you put something like this kind of color, like if you look at that, that color is kind of muddled against that white, but you put that color on black, it shall pop.
I don't care what color it is, as long as I can eat it. As long as I can eat off of it.
We're gonna, like I said before, this stuff is really brittle. So we're going to, I'm gonna grab a bread knife.
A real cut knife.
Once I find it.
Never mind all these potatoes or these tomatoes on the counter either.
Yeah, that's all from the garden.
I'm gonna need you to go ahead and grab another one and cut it open so I can have two. Just saying. Don't play with my emotions.
I'm using very, very, very light pressure when I do this because you don't want to collapse it too much. It's going to collapse a little bit when you cut it open, okay? That's just the nature of the beast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Couple of balls. Good. All right.
We are
Sorry.
all good.
Technical difficulties. Battery died. Grabbed out a couple of spoons. Now you want to make sure that you're using 2 different spoons for this because you don't want it to cross over. I mean, you can.
Sounds like a mess.
You can, but you can let it cross over, but you don't. I don't. So get a little dollop. Throw that on there. Spread it a little evenly. We'll do a little bit more.
I'm saying that's more of a dollop. That other crap you was talking about wasn't a dollop.
No, that was a real dollop.
No, bro.
Dude, we're talking about a chef dollop, okay? Not a black boy dollop.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute.
Not a country dollop, I should say.
Yeah, I'm saying, what that got to do with being black? God, racist.
Be saying that shit on my channel.
I didn't
Calling
say
me
anything.
a racist.
You said it.
You called me a racist.
You are.
I can't be a racist. My best friend's black. Please tell me you gave him the fuck you look.
Yeah. I hit him with this face right here. Yeah, I hit him with that face. There's another chef dollop. So guys, I want you guys to know that I know that the word is chef. Throughout this whole journey with Phoenix, I'm going to pronounce so many things wrong intentionally. Chef, C-H-E-F, to me, it's chef. All right, just let you guys know. There you go. Chef Phoenix.
You'll
Another little dollop of fruit.
Yep, and just let it rest. That's it. That's a Napoleon.
Looks like it's falling asleep.
That's a Napoleon though.
Let me get up on that, guys. Look at that. Check this out. It's like an ice cream sandwich.
Yeah, whipped cream sandwich, really.
Yep.
The cool thing is as you saw just a little bit ago, there might be some juice reserved in here. Yeah, just a little.
We could have got it from the bottom though.
Being a pain in the butt to get to.
Yeah, we could have we should have just shot. Oh, there we go.
Boom. And then you just take that and just add a little bit of flavor.
That's a Napoleon right there.
But you're actually not wrong in that pronunciation either.
I'm gonna be 400 pounds from eating just heavy whipping cream.
I like blueberries.
Smack that on there.
So as you see, the fruit kind of pulverizes from that sugar. You see them little gritty grits there?
It didn't help that I started stirring it in the beginning some more either.
And that's okay. It's not the end of the world.
Absolutely
It's
still
not
gonna taste
hurt
good.
it.
Yeah, it's still gonna taste good.
And I'll have a Phoenix corner for y'all about this kind of stuff here in just a little bit. So let me bust out a fork. My mouth is watering. Which one you want?
I don't care. Whichever one. Listen, we're gonna do this together.
Ready?
Yeah. Oh, listen to that crisp. It's a cold ass wedding, dog. Guys, listen. I'm finna get up out of here. I don't care what he do. I'm finna eat.
Thank you for joining me. That's gonna go away real quick. I will write out a recipe. Recipe will be in the description below for y'all, so you can make this at home. All right.